corporate recruiter here to review your resumes. We have up here a non-tech resume. See, I tell you all, I do non-tech resumes as well. This is an operations manager. What we need for an operations manager is industry, warehouse degree, Microsoft Office products, examples like Word, Excel, and Outlook, staffing, selection, training, development, coaching, mentoring, leading non-stakeholders. So again, this is actual leadership, conflict management, their issues, and stakeholder management and buy-in, along with you meeting deadlines and be on schedule. Nice to have are KPIs, SOP, cross-functional lean, and Six Sigma. I saw those on 1 or 2 jobs, so it's definitely some skills, but not a ton. So this resume is it good or is it bad? It's bad. This is a 1 in 100 ratio. So this is not a garbage, destroy this in the trash resume. There's probably some stuff that is salvageable, but a 1 in 100 is how many applications it takes to get an interview. And if you are taking 100 applications to get a single interview, your resume is a problem. Or when you apply is the problem. Because ATSs sort people on a first come, first serve basis. So if you are too late, you may not get seen. It's not the keyword stuff everybody's trying to convince you of. It's literally first come, first serve. So, let's see. Your ideal ratio should be below 1 in 50. So, recruiters only have 20 seconds to mess up the formatting. That was on me. 20 seconds. And then after that, if we don't find what we need, we have to reject you. So, 20 seconds is on the clock and go. Excel and Tableau, audit strategy that targets previous quarter shrink items. It's okay. Preservation to manage weekly store visits, maintenance repairs, help stock budgets. It's not bad. Led training of ERP, compliance errors, doing movement in and out of space, using SAP and Tableau. Use Excel, drive 3 internship enhancing, and got it. So, yeah, this is you did not write this correctly. I am looking at this, and this does not read like an operations manager. You gave me too many hot dogs instead of hamburgers. And you're using my format, which is good, although it's slightly off. But I think you were under the impression, of other people that were doing this stuff, is you try to put in those keywords when this is what we need for an operations manager. So what I mean by hot dogs and hamburgers, and this will probably be the best metaphor that will ever help you make your resume, because this is the single greatest mistake candidates make besides forgetting to put their contact information. Like, the most common issue is everybody gives me hot dogs when I want hamburgers. And let me explain. So, imagine you are a waiter, right? You are a waiter at a restaurant, and there is a singular customer that comes in, and that customer says, "Hey, waiter, I would like a hamburger with cheese." So they want a cheeseburger, and then you ask them, "Okay, do you want anything else on it?" And they say, "No, just hamburger, cheese." So bun, meat, cheese. That's it. And then they say, "Maybe some French fries too." So you go back, and then the cook, who is the one making it, brings you back a hot dog. Would you serve that to the customer? Because a hot dog does contain meat, like a hamburger. It does have a bun, and it can, in fact, have cheese, although not often, and ketchup and mustard on it, just like a hamburger. But it's not it's not a hamburger. So if you were not comfortable giving that hot dog to that customer that asked for a hamburger, why are you writing your resume like that? Because that is what you did. This is the hamburger. This stuff is the hot dog, right? Excel, hamburger. Tableau, hot dog. Create an inventory audit strategy that targets the previous quarter's high shrink items. Is that something they're looking for? Because that reads like a hot dog. That's like related to the hamburger, but it's not quite a hamburger. Created a preservation calendar to manage weekly store visits. Okay. Schedule maintenance repairs. That might be a hamburger. To test health systems, restock, and budget. Is that what they're asking? The answer is no. This is why you're having an issue, is you're giving them a bunch of hot dogs when they asked for a hamburger. And it doesn't matter how impressive you think your hot dog making skills are. It doesn't matter if you make the best hot dog in the world. They only want the hamburger, and you did not do it. So SAP systems, again, maybe that could be a nice to have, but the rest of these are not. This reads more like a data analyst than most data analysts do. But you're not. Your job as an operations lead is you have to herd the cats, right? Your job is leading these people that are not, well, they may not want to be led, so you have to figure out how to do it. You have to talk to the stakeholders. You have to meet the deadlines and be on schedule. And you don't need to use Tableau and Power BI and whatever. You just need Excel, Word, PowerPoint. That's it. And that's what's having an issue. And I don't even see warehouse here at all. So this is the reason you're having issues. Now, let me read this person's what they wrote. Maybe there's a difference. Have 10 years working in operations, and I'm looking for inventory controls operation roles, but I haven't had much luck. I don't know my exact ratio, but I've only gotten one interview since December. A little nervous about the review, but I clearly need the help. Yeah, no worries. So this is why, right? You gave me a bunch of hot dogs, and it's not related. Like, it doesn't matter how impressive this is. I need the basic stuff. I need that basic, boring hamburger with cheese. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. And that is, seriously, besides the phone number not being there, which you should make sure contact information is correct, that is the biggest mistake candidates make. Day in and day out, that is the biggest reason you're getting rejected. Like, I don't know how else to explain it, but it's so bad. Like, so many resumes have so much hot dogs and no hamburgers. And we are asking repeatedly for hamburgers, and then you all keep giving us hot dogs. And I'm not saying, like, woe is the company. No one's going to say that, not even me. But this is why you fail. This is the biggest reason you will fail, and the most common reason that I have seen candidates fail. Because it doesn't matter that you use Tableau to do an inventory audit system if you don't have warehouse experience, which I don't think I even see. It's not anywhere in your resume. So this person is in my Twitch chat, which this is where I get these every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headless headhunter. The link is below. I do about 10 resumes every stream, so that's about 30 a week. And I just want to thank you all for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, and I want to thank you to all my members who get access to my videos early. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer intern. They did not tell me their ratio. They did not leave me a note. So this is all I have to go by. Let's see if I can find what I need in 20 seconds, which is just degree, basic knowledge of a tech stack. Doesn't really matter which one, just a tech stack. The ability to work well with others and take direction and criticism. That's it. That's what interns need. So let's see if I can find it. Whoop, and start. Okay, can't use anything in that. Okay, good. And then architected, that's a good word. Spring Boot backend, okay, good. Oh, that's nice. Built RESTful APIs, okay. Don't care about query performance to standardize, that's fine. You have some of what I need. Where's the actual Java though? And declined. Okay, so here's what's good and bad with this resume. Good. They put their education. Bad. Formatting. You need your formatting to look like this. The link of how to do that is in the description below. It's only $29.90. No, it's free. Just use it. It's a free template. You really want to use it. This is how you do it. So the reason nothing counts in a skill section or a summary section is you do not tell me where you used it, and if you do not tell me where you used something, the reason or result of you using it, and how you used it, it is functionally not worth being on your resume. So I cannot use anything in a summary nor a skill section. There is exceptions to that because there's exceptions with everything in recruiting, and that exception is if you are switching industries, if you're relocating, or you are explaining a visa. Those are the reasons that you would want a summary. But if it's not those three, and by switching industries, I don't mean starting a new one. I mean going from a software engineer to a bartender, right? Those would be switching industries. You don't need a summary. This is way too long. You just need this. That's fine. Should be in one line. I don't care about relevant courses. And then we go here, and here's part of the problem. You don't mention Java. The only time you mention Java is right here. And I know people may be shocked. I am, in fact, a tech recruiter. I've gotten people hired for plenty of tech roles. I am, by every metric, above average tech recruiter. I'm not going to say I'm the best because I'm not, but I am very good at it. And you need to mention the basic language, because this implies that you use Java. It doesn't state that you use Java. In fact, if you were going for a Java developer, right? Let me just pull that up real quick. That might actually be outdated. No, it's not. I redid that last month, so this is still accurate. So for a Java developer, I would need Java, which I don't see, because again, does not count up here. I would need Spring, which I did see, Spring Boot. I would need SQL, RESTful APIs, microservices, OOP, Git, other APIs, Maven, Cloud, Architecting, SDLC, MongoDB, Hibernate, Docker, Kubernetes, and that stuff. But you don't have any of that except for SQL, which is good, and RESTful APIs, which is good. And a little bit of... No, that's it. That's all I found. But I also don't see, because this is necessary for an intern, not for full-time, is how did you work well with others? How did you get your code critiqued? Because based on some of the comments here, they want to know you're not going to flip out. If somebody tells you that you did this wrong, they want to know that you're not going to punch the screen and walk away. And that has happened before. That has happened. That is what they are worried about, because this is your first real-time job. So to fix it, you need to fix the formatting. You need to add in a little bit more of the tech stack. And I'm talking the basics of it, like Java, just Java. If you just put Java, it would be good, right? Because again, you can't use it here. Just put Java, right? That will be it. And then how you took direction and criticism and worked well with others. You do those, you're going to get a lot of internships. But right now, you're going to probably get a 1 in 100 to a 1 in 120, because you don't tell me how you can work well with others. You don't show the basic part of the tech stack. You show everything but Java, which is the problem. And yeah, that's it. That's the problem. So fix those and you will get a little bit more. Also, I am sick at the time of recording this, so if I seem extra harsh, it is not on you. I am not feeling well. And you know what? If you can get past a recruiter that's not feeling well, then your resume is extra good, which quite frankly can happen. Sometimes the person reviewing your resume is sick, both the hiring manager and the recruiter. Sometimes their dog, who they love, kept them up all night by barking, or their child was crying all night for some reason. Or they are just frazzled or having a slight medical issue and need to go to the doctor but are refusing to because of pride for some reason. So all of those things can happen to the person reviewing your resume, and that is why you need to make it this boring and basic so that we can find it in 20 seconds to get you into the hiring manager so you can get an interview. Same thing with this. This works for the hiring manager, not just a recruiter. Some people assume my advice is only for the recruiter. That is incorrect. Most of this is more for the hiring manager than the recruiter, but I don't think advice that only gets you past one is good advice. Next, resume. This is a resume of a data engineer. So this person has 1 in 75, which actually I think they said they're an international, which actually is not bad for, if that's accurate. A 1 in 75 for an international is not bad. I actually wonder if this is actually 1 in 75 or not more. But what we need for a data engineer is Python, ETL, ELT, Scala, data algorithms, SQL, big data, Kafka, Spark, Hadoop, cloud, data, DataX, data models, blah, blah, blah. Snow, anything involving Snow, ability to manage, communicate data plans to non-technical people, and the industry. So let's see if I can find it in 20 seconds. I probably can find some of it if it's a 1 in 75. It just means I'm going to have to maybe dig for it, and most people would not maybe be able to find it. So, start. Okay, can't use anything here. Education. Okay, you've got it all the way at the bottom. Engineered ETL workflows in Snowflake. Good. To ingest data from S3. Okay. Boosting pipeline. Don't care about the last part. Design analytics schematic models in Snowflake reporting dashboards. Okay. Orchestrated Apache Airflow, APIs, Snowflake, PySpark, AWS, that's good, SQL, procedures, and BigQuery, and that's it. Wow, man, this is what upsets me is this isn't terrible. Your formatting is terrible, to be clear. Your formatting is very bad, and you actually have the way you wrote a lot of these is actually pretty solid. So first off, fix your formatting. Do this, right? Should look like this. That's how to do it, right here. Then here, I want you to delete this. Doesn't matter. Although in this case, you may need to tell them what type of visa you're on. If you're only looking for OPT roles, If you are looking for H-1B ones, you don't need to put it on, because that is the one that is a real problem, is no one's really hiring H-1Bs because of the Trump changes. So, well, they're not hiring them in a lot of jobs. They're hiring them in a lot of other jobs. It is a nightmare, but that is a topic that is too big for this video. So, yeah, you are an international student. So I actually like how you wrote some of this, right? Like, this is good. But I want you to remove the 30%, right? Like, this is the 30% is a hot dog. I don't care about that. But engineered automated ETL workflows in Snowflake, parentheses, Snowpark plus Python, to ingest data from, should be AWS S3, right? Just so that they know. Boosting pipeline and eliminating manual runs is fine. I don't care about the 30%. That's worthless. Excuse me. Designed analytic schematic models. I don't care. And again, you already mentioned Snowflake up here. You don't need to mention it again here. For reporting and dashboarding. Do I need dashboards? Not really. Tracking. So yeah, there's nothing in this sentence I can use. Orchestrated batch streaming via Apache, blah, blah, blah. Can't use anything in this one. This one, PySpark maybe, and AWS. So again, I want you to write it like this. Like, this is fantastic. I really like that. And this alone is probably why you're getting interviews, is they just read this and then they look at the rest and their eyes gloss over. So go back to a lot of these other sentences, and I want you to put it like this, right? I don't want you to put impact here. I just want you to say, gosh, because this is nothing either. You did some stuff right? I'm trying to think of this because I'm sick. Sorry, y'all. When I am sick, my explaining voice is not quite there. But this right here, hamburgers. This, hot dogs, hot dogs, hot dogs, all the way until we go down to here. Then this is hamburgers. So I want you to look at this, and I want you to look at this, and I want you to write the rest of them like this. You don't need these 30%. No job I have ever seen in my life has said must have pipeline boosting reliability by 30%. That's not impact. You do need impact, but impact is this for analytics stakeholders, right? Delivering faster data sets. You don't want to write impact. You want to put it as part of the sentence, though. So go back to the drawing board on this one, and that should be it, because I think you're gonna be in for a tough fight here. But the first sentence is almost entirely perfect. So just write the rest of it like that, and that goes for everybody else. And I hope I'm explaining this right. My head hurts. Is you gotta put the basic boring stuff. This right here is what we're actually looking for. Everybody's like, what do recruiters want? What do recruiters want? What are the hiring? This. But we don't want the rest of this. The one thing I'll let you know, though, is you don't want to repeat the same keyword in the same job. So in this case, you have Snowflake here and you have Snowflake here. You don't need Snowflake here. But having Snowflake here and Snowflake here, for example, would be good. So you want to repeat it in multiple jobs, but never in the same job, if you can get it. Sometimes you're forced to double up on it, because, you know, some industries do that, but do your best to not. So change it, add a little bit more about communicating the plans to non-technical stakeholders, and you should be getting much more than a 1 in 75. Well, more than a 1 in 75, not credibly much more. It's still an absolute nightmare for internationals. Next resume. This is a software engineer Python. Well, technically what they said was new grad software engineer, backend Python preferred. You don't get to actually do that as a software engineer. This is my specialty, by the way. You want to pick a stack. And picking a stack requires you to do full stack, front end, or full stack or front end, or Python backend, or C#.NET backend, or Java backend. If it's not one of those 5, unless it's some kind of AI thing, you're probably going to get rejected. So you need to pick one of those. So in this case, I don't want to see backend Python preferred. I just want to see a resume that is tailored entirely to a backend Python role. So I'm going to judge this as if this was a backend Python developer. So what we need is Python, SQL, any of them. I really don't know why, but any SQL is fine. No one's really picky about SQL. Docker, Cloud, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, Git, CI/CD, and then you're going to need one of these. You're going to need ML, Agentic, and its stuff, so like LangGraph from MOS, which is multi-agent systems, or full stack, in which case you're going to want TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. You do not usually need both, but you will have to sort of pick one. So is it a Python developer with a little bit of full stack, or is it a Python developer with a little bit of AI? Those are usually going to be your choices that you're going to break it down into. And then it's nice to have fast APIs, Flask, and Django. And rare, so it does exist, but it's pretty rare to have ETL, Java, OAuth 2, MongoDB in particular, and microservices architecture. So I need 75% of this to move you forward. And your ratio is unknown. I've applied to over 200 jobs, but no one reaches out to me. Okay, so this is a 150 plus. So this is a terrible resume. So can I find what I need in 20 seconds? No, because 200 other companies could not either. But let's go and go. Okay, degree, good. This can be deleted. Don't care about that. Supported 5+ applications. Magnolia, what? Doc, ServiceNow, don't care. ServiceNow, don't care. I mean, this is nice, but that's... Okay, so you're not... where's this Python? Alright, yeah, this is immediately rejection. There's nothing here. So, one flag I did want to let you know that is not as common is you might be applying to jobs too early. On average, in the US, companies rarely hire more than 3 months out. So if you cannot start within 3 months of applying, they usually will not consider you. Now, there are exceptions to this, primarily very, very big companies, and like Fang and stuff will, but the vast majority of them will not move forward until, for this person, until January, February, March, till April. No, till March. So you should really start heavily applying in March. That'll be when you can start doing it, because March, April, May, I guess in that case February. So February. So by the time, whoops, sorry y'all, the time this video comes out. But right now it's a little bit too early. But then we go down to the real problem with this resume that's not just this. And the fact is, there's nothing here I need. So remember, I cannot use anything here. You might as well have left this blank. But you know what I don't see for a Python engineer? Python. Why is it that if you are a Python engineer, I have to go all the way down here to use your very first thing of Python? Now, I think your question is, well, it's very easy to imply that I've used no. No. I'm looking in the camera right now. No. Nothing is implied in your resume. If it is not stated directly and with your full chest, it is considered that you do not have it. That is a rule. That is a big rule. So while you were thinking that enterprise applications such as Magnolia, ServiceNow, and this stuff was needed, which none of it is what we're looking for, this ended up being a hot dog. This is a hot dog. This, Python, is a hamburger. If you're going for the full stack instead of the AI, this HTML and CSS is a hamburger. But even without that, I don't... Where is your RESTful... What did I just do? Whoa. Okay, clicked the wrong button. I don't know what I just did there. I think I reloaded the page. All right. So instead, like, where's the RESTful APIs? Nowhere. You don't tell me how you used it, thus it's useless. I think you did say SQL, right? Where's SQL? Nope, nothing. Only there. Doesn't count. Again. Where's CI/CD? Nope, don't see it at all in your resume. What about Git? Okay, there's Git somewhere here. Where is it? Wait, where is it? It's saying I guess it's linking your GitHub, so it's here. So, yeah. All right. No, there's no Git in your resume. Then what about anything involving full stack? I already couldn't find it. And you had, I think, a little bit of AI, but no, I don't even see AI. So what you thought by presenting this is that this is impressive and they're going to love it. The problem is this is completely irrelevant to what they're looking for. Now, I will say, translating non-technical stakeholder requirements into effective technical solutions, could be something they would like. But that would be a nice to have. That is not the main one. So yes, this is a bad resume because you don't show anything at all about how you used Python. There's no Docker. There's no SQL. There's no cloud. There's no RESTful APIs. There's no Git. There's no CI/CD. You don't tell me if you're full stack or AI based. And you don't even have any of the nice to haves. You have basically submitted a blank paper. And this is why you are having trouble getting interviews. So I want you to go back to the drawing board and redo all of this into this format so it's easier to read. Do not put a skills section. This is why I tell people not to put it, because this is the stuff that could be useful, but it's useful in here. And then you will have an actual, like, interview ratio. Like, you'll actually get interviews. That's all you need to do. Next, resume. This is a technically data science. I say technical because they said data science slash data engineer. The problem is those are two different roles. You absolutely cannot have the same resume for a data scientist as a data engineer. And since the data engineer was the second resume of this one, you can look at the keywords and qualifications up there. And if you notice, these are for a data scientist. These are different. So what I need is degree, Python, R, SQL, data in all its forms, data modeling, data analytics. That part is relatively the same. The industry I need to explain stuff to non-technical stakeholders, cross-functional, and here's where it gets different. I need ML Ops. I need Microsoft Office applications. Yes, I do. Or Google Sheets. I need AI, Spark, Skibbity-Learn, Pandas, NumPy, dashboards, and data visualization. If you notice, I don't need ETL or ELT. That is actually something that is a bit rare in a data scientist. That is why it is not here, but that is something that a data engineer would need. So those are, while similar, different jobs. Now, this person told me they have a terrible ratio, so I'm expecting not to be able to find any of this, but they did not leave me a note. So, can I find this in 20 seconds? Again, no, because it's I think it's over 150 plus, but let's see what I can do. And go. Can't use anything here, can't use here. Where's your education? Data science. Okay, good. Okay, go back up. Data modeling on Department of Health. Accessibility, data-driven insights, data visualization tools. What kind? You don't tell me. But at least that's there. Pattern of outcomes, leveraging SQL, and declined. I'm even looking here, and there's like nothing else. Yeah. So you're... Sorry, y'all. My head hurts. After this, I am probably taking a nap to recover from being sick. Yesterday was by far the worst, though. That was today, though. Today I'm mostly better, but it's definitely affecting the mind. But yeah, your resume's bad, bro. Like, I'm not even counting the formatting when you delete this, but like there's literally nothing here. Like, where's the, you said data. All right, let me look at this. I saw Python, which was good. But what about the industry? I guess that's the social health, but I don't really see that. So I guess that's social health, is it? How did you influence stakeholders? How did you talk to other people? I don't care that you utilize data visualization tools to analyze. I care about that you use them to help other people, which you kind of do, but not really. Like, where's the ML Ops? Where's the Microsoft Office? I don't think I see Excel here anywhere, do I? No, I don't. You don't have anything involving AI, which again, you could probably get away with not having that. So yeah, there's just nothing here. Like, I get that you may have poured your heart and soul into this, but this resume is blank. Like, except for Python and SQL and data driven, which I'm not even sure, and data extraction, there's nothing here. Right? Like, I need to know how you not made dashboards for stakeholders. I want to know how you talk to them. I want to know that if they had trouble plugging in their computer, you explained what a statistical Mars Volta dashboard means and how it's useful. You did not explain that. I need to see that you used MS Office stuff. I don't see that. I did like data visualization, although I would actually prefer if you put what kind if needed. And I don't really fully see your industry because you have social detriments here and then you have SDLC down here, which is a little much. It's both. And then the rest of this is nothing. So part of the reason you're having an issue is you also had this. These skill sections hurt you. Like, I'm not saying this to be a mean recruiter. I'm saying this to help you. These skill sections hurt you. If you must put a skill section and you refuse to not put it in your resume, at least put it at the bottom, because they're going to look at this. They can't use anything here. They can't use here. Their eyes are going to wander. Then they go all the way down here to find your education, which is a requirement. And then they go back up, and by that point, they already only have 10 seconds left. And then they look at this, and it's just a wall of text of nothing they see, and they're going to reject you. That is why you're having a problem. So, for the love of all that is holy, pay attention to these hamburgers. Because they don't care about hot dogs. And if you were that waiter, you would not serve that customer a hot dog. You would go back and redo it, or ask the chef to redo it, and then bring them what they were actually asking for. Because this is the stuff that we're asking for. And none of this is really that stuff. So that's all I can do for this resume. I just want to thank everybody for watching. And if you ever need more help, feel free to join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and all of my members who get access to videos a little bit early. I really do appreciate you all. And I will see you all, hopefully healthy, in the next video.